many years in commercial venues, I realized that there is one thing that overrides pretty much everything: your skill, your abilities, your look, your costuming, absolutely everything. And this is casting. This is just the general image that you're projecting, the role that you're supposed to play in your show. It's the same thing whether you're a movie star or a dancer at a nightclub or any type of variety venue. If you're dancing in a Orientalist theme restaurant or nightclub, clearly you have to portray this Orientalist dream woman, the dark-haired, exotic beauty from the Orient. And this type of casting, of course, has to go also with the moves, with facial expressions, with the image that you're portraying. You have to convince people that serve them this fantasy, convince them that this is something beautiful, amazing, so that they enjoy it. If you're dancing in a modern nightclub with the beautiful people dancing around you, you should have more of a model style, gorgeous, beautiful people style person presence. You should be physically beautiful to the level of the crowd that the nightclub entertains. And you should have this fearless, daring, beautiful, uncompromising, demanding air about you.
When I'm looking to hire people for a show, I guess it depends somewhat on the venue. What is the show for? Who is the show for? Because that's going to influence a little bit. Are we talking, am I getting dancers lined up for a big theater show? Going to be selling tickets. I need people that really can work up to a high level, present some fabulous new concept. Am I hiring dancers for just kind of a regular weekly club gig, which I've done that before as well. And I need people that are going to work with that audience, maybe a little more personal one-on-one skills to make everyone happy, feel like they're having a great time. Or am I hiring dancers for kind of a more specific show? I do an alternative belly dance show a couple times a year, which is kind of in between the two in terms of the skills that I might be looking for. I would say number one quality, regardless of venue, regardless of the type of show, frankly, I want dancers that are professional. And this doesn't always go by how many years of experience they have. I want people that are reliable, that are responsive, and that are committed to the project, and that I don't have to worry about them. And I realize this has nothing to do with dance qualities, but frankly, there's a lot of dancers out there, all right? And a lot of them are attractive women. A lot of them have skills that are perfectly adequate to whatever show that I'm doing. It's kind of going to come down to your professionalism for me. If you can be an awfully fantastic, great dancer, and if you are a major problem to deal with, I'm not going to deal with you. You'll get hired by me once and that will be it. So frankly, overall professionalism, how you treat this dance, how you treat other people, this is something I'm really going to be taking into account as I'm hiring you for my shows. Going beyond that kind of bigger picture of being a professional and frankly being a nice person, I kind of put that in there with professionalism. Are you easy to work with? Are you going to play nice with the other dancers? Particularly for like a big theater show, I don't need, out of 18 dancers, even just one diva who's going to be making trouble backstage. Not worth it. There's too many other dancers. But getting back to other qualities that are, more specifically physical, I guess. Depending on the audience, we always want to have a dancer that is attractive. And let's be real. Most of our audience, particularly in a Western mode, they're not skilled connoisseurs of belly dance. They're not really going to be able to detect all your layers of technique and your years of dance experience. I mean, don't think you can fool them. Any audience will be able to tell if you're like a really poor dancer. But someone who's like super, super high, super skilled as a dancer, they might not be able to take that in. Unfortunately, what they will take in is if the dancer does not look as attractive as they are accustomed to seeing dancers in other Western performance dance modes looking. So I'm sorry, being fit. I'm not saying you have to have a perfect centerfold body, but I really do look for dancers that are fit because I know my audience is expecting that, and I don't want the audience to be disappointed or to kind of have a negative view of this dancer because maybe she's not looking as well as she could. I also, and I have been in this position, don't want the dancer to be hearing, you know, negative, unflattering, disheartening feedback from an audience, even though she's a wonderful dancer, that the audience was not perhaps knowledgeable enough to pick up on the beauties in her dance. All they were looking at was the physical package. So, yes, physically reasonably fit, a reasonable degree of attractiveness. I do want professional costuming if possible. Frankly, sometimes I have to lessen my personal very high standards on that, and as long as you are costumed adequately for the number. And I do like people that are going to be just creative and nice to work with. But if I had to pick my top things, professionalism, good personality to work with, very, very important to me. Of course, I'm lucky and I got a ton of dancers I can draw from. Going beyond that, what, you know, sadly, having really very little to do with dance, but the characteristic that infiltrates all my audiences is, are they going to respect the dancer for her physical appearance?
For the last 10 years, I've been promoting a wide variety of nightclub events through my website, tastingnyc.com, and I've worked with a lot of belly dancers on a number of different events. Our most popular event that involves dancers is our alternative belly dance show that we do twice a year. And the things that I look for are strong stage presence, interesting music, because we tend to use Western music. We've got girls belly dancing to Enter Sandman and Welcome to the Jungle. And I find for a nightclub crowd that always gets a lot more attention than your more traditional Arabic music. Another thing that I look for is someone who does something different. There's a girl who performed using poi balls, which tended to catch the light, maybe by chance, and different colors of light reflected through the balls, which was fascinating. I also had a dancer who danced with 10 fingers of fire. And she held them behind her. They acted as a skirt. She held them up in the air. It was a fascinating effect. We've also had dancers who did highly choreographed team dancing to a variety of Western music. So basically I'm looking for something that's different, something that's not what people would expect from belly dance.